Jacob wants to know, I'm having trouble getting my rear derailleur to stay in gear, especially in the smallest cog. Any ideas on what might be wrong? Because it's hard to know what could be causing the problem without actually seeing the bike, now is really a good time to look at the derailleur tuning process from start to finish. Whether you have Shimano, Campagnolo, or a SRAM derailleur setup, really the process is exactly the same. Begin by making sure that your derailleur hanger is aligned properly and fastened tight to the frame. If you don't have a derailleur alignment tool, you can use your derailleur as a guide, provided you haven't crashed on it already. Check to make sure that the upper pulley is parallel with the dropout face, both vertically and horizontally. Now you're ready to begin tuning. With the cable detached from the cable anchor, the derailleur should shift into the smallest cog automatically. Use the high limit screw, the one marked H, to adjust the derailleur starting point. Backing out the screw moves the derailleur outboard, while turning it in will move the derailleur inboard. Adjust the screws so that the chain sits just barely off center to the outboard side when you're in the big ring up front. Now check to make sure that your shifter has let out all the cable. Click the upshift paddle a few times while pulling on the bare cable to make sure that you have all the cable out of the shifter. Turn the derailleur barrel adjuster nearly all the way in. There's typically a groove carved into the derailleur for the cable to sit in that will help you to see which side of the bolt the cable should be on. Pull the cable tight and fasten it down with the derailleur pinch bolt. Now it's time to set your indexing. Downshift the rear derailleur twice. If the derailleur won't shift 2 gears, then your cable is too loose. Back out the barrel adjuster to tension the cable until it stays in gear. Once it is reliably staying in gear, downshift 2 more times. Turn the barrel adjuster until the derailleur is vertically aligned with the 5th cog when you're in the small ring up front. Shift up and down the cassette in both gears up front to check that you have your indexing set correctly. Just avoid shifting into the large rear cog while you do this. If the derailleur hesitates to shift to a larger cog, back out the barrel adjuster 1 click and repeat the shift to check it. If the derailleur hesitates to shift to a smaller cog, turn the barrel adjuster in 1 click and then test shift again. Once you have your indexing set, it's time to adjust the low limit screw. Gently shift into the large cog to prevent having your rear derailleur accidentally shift into the spokes. If it still won't go, then you probably didn't get all the cable released from the shifter before you anchored the cable, and you'll need to start your index tuning over again. Adjust the low limit screw, the one marked L, so that the upper derailleur pulley is aligned with the large cog when you're in the small ring up front. Backing out the limit screw will allow the derailleur to move inboard, while tightening it will move the limit outboard. Adjust the screw so that it is tight enough to make it impossible to shift the derailleur into the spokes, but loose enough to allow the derailleur to shift smoothly into the large cog. The last thing to adjust is the B tension screw. Turn the screw in to pull the upper pulley farther away from the large cog. Ideally, you want the upper pulley as close as possible to the large cog without the pulley making noise or bouncing off the cog's teeth when you're in the small ring up front. Keeping the upper pulley tight to the large cog will improve shifting speed and drivetrain life by providing faster shift engagement and improved chain wrap around each cog. Perform some more test shifts to double check your work, and you're all done. If you want your question answered on Ask a Mechanic presented by Art Cyclery, send your inquiry to webletters@competitorgroup.com.